So I totally know what you mean, and I can totally relate on that level of feeling like you are an outsider, just based purely off of your interests. You know, it's not
Hmm.
even like you don't get along with them or anything like that. It's just you just don't have a lot of the same interests, and so you're just seen as like, oh, you're that kind of Filipino, and I don't know. I always just
Yeah.
sort of felt off about it, but I think I've learned to grow to appreciate the fact that I do have a different side, and that that there are shades to Filipinos, and that we don't all like the same shit. And I think that I've sort of learned to accept that.
Like I still have those experiences now. Like I want to go back to Mexico, but I'm not allowed to. At least not while I'm still in the reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it's on like this there's this list of places you're not allowed to travel to unless you're on orders.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, even here, I've been trying to get back into. Or I've been trying. I think growing up, I didn't really appreciate a lot of the culture I grew up with, and then I'm trying to get back into it now. And then at some points, uh, I think it. Or sometimes like my friends say like, don't you feel this is kind of forced? And I think back, I'm like, oh my God, am I forcing this? And then I really think about it. I'm like, no, I think I really do like this. And then
like
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 ask,
what do you feel like you had a force, or what do you feel like you're sort of like deciding whether or not it was forced or whether it was authentic?
um, so I've been getting into a lot of the Chicano and a little bit of the Cholo aesthetic. I mean, I've
Nice.
always loved flannels, but now I just always button it to the top. And
Nice.
yeah, um,
I like. Hey, man, I'm from San Jose, and
yeah,
our neighborhood was, 40% uh Asian, 40% Mexican, and like I just remember a lot of Asian a lot of Asian dudes walking around with flannels buttoned up to the top. So it is like, for me, seeing someone with a flannel buttoned up to the top is like a reassuring, like, oh cool, all right. I'm safe.
yeah. So I've been doing that. Sometimes I pair it up with a bandana. Sometimes I don't. I've been getting into the pachuco. Look, do you know what a pachuco is?
What's that?
Um, I guess it's the better term for someone that goes and dresses up in suits. Um,
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you mean. With like the hat and like that sort of 50s
yeah.
style, right? 50s 40s style.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been doing that relatively often.
Oh, I think I saw like
Uh,
the picture with like the like you have like a hat and like suspenders and stuff, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Uh, I've been getting into that. I'm like, no, I definitely really like this too. Uh, no, like so far, none of it, like, I had to do some thinking, but none of it really feels forced. Like, it's more just like I grow up and I'm like, oh my God, this is actually pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
and
It,
like rewatching old Latino movies too, like Mi Familia, Blood In, Blood Out, American Me, La Bamba, Stand and Deliver. I'm like, fuck, I wish there could be more of these movies right now.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's it's isn't it so weird how like for a lot of people of color growing up in the States, that's sort of the experience. Like you start off where you're really young, and within your own family you dig the culture because that's the only thing that you know, and then you get into school, and then you like see other people who either talk shit about it or give you shit for it, and so then you are like, okay, maybe I should like distance myself. I shouldn't really fuck with this stuff or whatever. Like, oh, I just want to fit in. I want to be cool. I want to like white boy shit, whatever. And
Hmm.
then as you get older, then you start to learn to go back to the stuff that you didn't appreciate, and you're like, oh, it is fucking sick. And then you're
Yeah.
just like, you give yourself that permission to just go, you know what? Who gives a shit? So if someone thinks this shit's forced, this is mine. This is my culture. I can lean 100% into it. So I say, man, rock those suits, rock the flannels. If it's your culture, man.
No, yeah. Fucking, I guess on top of that, like I've been going to more lowrider shows. Been listening to more. I mean, I always loved Motown, but now I've been listening to even like more oldies, old town, Motown, and like a lot of this had negative connotations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like the Cholo look definitely has a negative connotation even today.
Mm-hmm.
Like like
Which is so funny
when
because
I
like especially in the Bay Area, that is where it should, like the Bay Area or LA, like California, that is where it should be normalized. But unfortunately, I know the Bay Area has changed so much over the last few years. So
yeah, unless you go to like the Mission, and even then, it's
yeah.
not there all the time.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
It's still alive in LA though. Like through the like, I've been looking at Chicano and Chicana rappers recently.
Oh yeah, like
I think they're
who's
super
cool?
underrated. Um like CNG or Sad Boy Loco or Lil Grifo. Although the thing that sucks about some of them is like they end like Sad Boy Loco and Lil Grifo. Like when I got into Sad Boy Loco, I was like, oh man, this is really awesome stuff. When's he gonna release some new stuff? And I look into it and I'm like, the fuck, you're in prison right now.
Oh
And then
damn.
and then I'm listening to Lil Grifo. I'm like, oh shit, this guy's really cool too. Like I can't wait till he does a show. And then like fucking a week later, an Instagram post comes out that he's in county jail. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I just got into you. Why are you going to jail?
Damn,
Is
dude.
this why Chicano rappers aren't that popular? Or well, that's not true. Like technically, there's Tekashi 6ix9ine, but I don't really fuck with that Chomo dude. And
That's
but
that's cool, man. I haven't looked into um Chicano rappers, but I was you know I was listening to, I think, a couple of months ago, trying to get into Chicano rock and Chicano like punk,
mhm.
and it's just so
Oh, that shit's
fascinating.
really so good though. It really is. That's still alive in the Bay Area. Chicano rap, not as much.
Hmm. It's still so because I haven't really delved into that. Do you know of any like good Chicano like rock artists or any artists who have like, since you've sort of been on this sort of journey to sort of go back and check out all this type of music, um is there anyone that you found that's like, oh man, this is a gem?
Uh, on any genre or
Chicano artist.
so Bay Area specifically. Definitely check, or I don't know if she still lives in San Jose, but definitely check out Lucy Camp. She is amazing. Like there aren't a lot, like there are so many good underrated female rappers, and like if you want to go more specifically Latina female rappers, and she's she's relatively up and coming. Like, but she's still, I mean, she has a pretty good following now, but she deserves way more. And Snow the product too. I think a lot more people know her. She's been around a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those two are amazing. And then let's see. My camera's about to go up, but that's only because I'm about to check out like my playlist and see what bands I can or I can recommend to y'all real quick. Like
Yeah,
these
no
are just
problem.
like a Chicano or these are some Bay Area bands that have like Chicano or Latin roots.
Mm-hmm.
So Jesus and the Dinosaurs, they're fucking awesome. They're really good.
Okay.
Uh then there's Las Pulgas. They're a really great listen to. I would definitely give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Deseos Primitivos, definitely cannot say that enough. Definitely give them a chance. Like I fucking love them.
Mm-hmm.
And then like one more recommendation, the Red Pears. I ran into the Red Pears when I went to see this band called Carpal Tunnel, and Carpal Tunnel was opening for them,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just like the best show of my life. Like not like one, I got to meet one of my favorite bands, and like it was just heartwarming. Take a picture, autographs. Definitely give Carpool Tunnel a listen to. But and they were opening, and then I was only there for them, and then And I told them that, and they're like, "No, no, you gotta stay for the rest of the bands. They're really good." And I was like, "Well, even though I have work at I have to go back to the base at 6 in the morning because I literally just came back from my deployment.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I have to go back to the base at 6 in the morning to do some in processing, fuck it. You know what? Yeah, I deserve this. And you guys told me to, and I gave you guys a chance. I'll give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And the red pairs, I brought my dad with me, and he was like, or well, they definitely looked Latino, but I wasn't I couldn't be sure. And then like my dad heard it like just by looking at them and then hearing a couple of their songs, he's like, "Oh yeah, they're definitely Mexican." And I was like, "Oh, my dad, we can't be too sure, you know." And he's like, I just know." And then they have this song, literally called Spanish song, and then started singing in Spanish. It was really great. And he was like, "See, I told you." And then my dad and I were just yelling stuff like "Viva la raza," and then he was like, "Hey, thanks." And I bought a vinyl from them, and I got them to sign it, and
Oh,
my dad took a
dope.
picture with them. So I'm like, I just been listening to their stuff nonstop, too. Like, uh, check out the Red Paris. It's something different. It's so good. I think my favorite song from them is Forever, but that's only because uh my girl and I like I like to try to get her to slow dance with me to that song. So
Dude. All right, man. I'm gonna have to listen to the Red Paris. I'll have to put them on after.